When I got to Y, everybody was worried about English. When Fresh can tell you, when I was doing sport in his show, I would say mangikhuluma ngesoccer ngibize ngesiZulu ngithi sezingena ezebhola manje sikamgcoba nyawo, but I will read what the script is in English, but all my intro will be in Zulu. So me and Kabzela had that thing of mixing English and isiZulu and make it fluently in such a way that everyone that is listening ayithande.
Welcome to Something Nice with Dinano. Today we are with a prominent businessman from Johannesburg. Well, he's now at Johannesburg, but originally usuka kwaZulu. Le Midlands okanye Gagasini?
Midlands.
Midlands. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ndifuna ukintroduce all hlobo. Siyakwamkela ba uGajeni. Thank you very much for the opportunity for joining us apha ku Something Nice with Dinano. By the way, before makudala siyenzile lena. But since you are a busy person, we had to postpone a number of times. But I'm glad you have allowed us to make it happen. Nansi ke introduction indlela enza introduce ngayo.
Yeah.
A businessman, a broadcaster, record company owner, visionary, intellectual rights activist, which is something that really excites me, and into ndifuna siyijonge kakhulu kule ntetho yethu today. A family man, unolali. Are you from the rurals?
Yes.
Unolali, a straight talker.
Yeah.
Very ambitious.
Yeah.
Charming. Unconventional. He's not a person who thinks inside the box, thinks outside the box.
Yeah.
A thinker, a street smart hustler.
That's exactly what I am.
I know. Ukajeni, Owen Ndlovu. I see into zakho. I hope that's nothing confidential, but I see there's a T. Is it Tulani?
Tulani.
Oh, okay.
Tulani, yeah.
I don't know if wauke wanixelela, but for some reason I just knew ubangu Tulani.
Yeah.
By the way, welcome. And thank you for welcoming me. It's not a house, it's a castle. Thank you very much.
Yes.
How are you?
My brother, I'm very well. Thank you very much, Dini. And Yabulele Nkosi ba. Ekugqibeleni sizodibana sifike kudala undifuna apha. I always tell people ukuthi into endingayithandiyo ngomsebenzi wami ukuba apha eTV-ni because iTV ngixabanise nabantu because abantu bona nowanguye lo othe singabi nengoma yonyaka bafuna unibetha, so ke if bebekandazi I wouldn't have that problem. So ndiyabulela, and first of all I would like to congratulate you and applaud you for your achievement. I mean you were a young man when I met you. Now you owning your own television channel. I mean, with your own equipment. This is exactly what we dream about every day as parents, to say whatever that we contribute to you guys, it's helping you guys to cross the river. We're not expecting you to, even if it's R2.50, you can say, Owen robbed me, was supposed to pay me more. Yeah. But you managed to turn the little that you had to what it is. And that's our role.
Yes.
That's our role. I'm not going to give my child 100,000. What is he going to do with it? He must be able to use the 2,000 rand that I gave him to turn it to something else. But to be quite honest, this is a very, very good opportunity for me to be able to talk to your people and my people. I was born in KwaZulu-Natal.
You see, he's already taking control of my show. I didn't ask him, but I just want to touch on Lendo Kubaite Tango.
Correct.
On Lendoba, I was unique up there 100,000.
Yeah.
If you don't know what they can do with the 2,000.
Correct.
And it's something in Sandaiva here. I think Bendibone into izolo on Jackie Chan saying, "Akomda nakuzamnika imali."
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal also said the same thing.
Yeah.
I think khona nomnye umuntu kwezi big time investors who also said the same thing.
Yes.
That's something we're going to touch later.
Correct.
But now I would like uba uke uzazise. Owen Tulani Ndlovu.
Yes.
Mna ndimazi Michael Owen Productions sawufika nakuleyo.
Yes.
Uphuma phi?
Yeah. Tata, thank you very much. I was born Actually, I was born in Johannesburg, in Soweto, but specific Orlando East. Ndakhulela ke Natal, because when I was born, I will not scared to say my age. I was born in 1972, which means I'm turning 50 next year. So when I was born in 1972, remember 4 years later, I was 76. Zakal is Dube Pai Soweto. So ndingakangeni nesikolo, I was only 4. So we were taken away from Soweto, basisa pa Natal, so that we are able ukuthi sikwazi ukuqhubeka nesikolo. So ke yonke impilo yami abanye basiwa komsinga, sasafihlwa komsinga eNatal, so abanye ke bayiswa ngako Newcastle. So I was kule gang yase Newcastle. Fortunately, my mom is from that side in Newcastle. So ke ndakhulela pha ke yonke into zonke ifamily zethu zise Newcastle except ke utata ngwalapha.
Okay.
So ke impilo yami ke ndafunda isikolo sonke eNatal and manje ngisiza eJoburg xa kuvala ikolo. I'm from the dark rural areas. Xosicho ndinginolali. I'm a farmer. Andinanxako kandibiza ngazo zonke because of that's what I am. But ke ukukhulela lapho Dini Lohlanga mntakabawo kwandivula into ezininzi because I have an experience of a town life and a farm life. Ndisihlanganisa zonke ezo. I'm a hustler, I'm a businessman, I'm a township, yonke into because of xa umuntu ethetha nge rural areas, I've been there. Ndiyayazi lo mpilo. Xa uthetha ngelokishi, I'm from Orlando in Soweto. Xa uthetha ngebusiness awuthetha. Xa ufana no DJ Sbu uthi hustlishe ngizakuthola endleleni. So to be quite honest, ndikhuleleke pha, ndagqibela imatric yami pha, ndabuya ke Joburg senza college. Kwakune Nexus College at the time ngo-1993. Ebeyihlangene ne vets.
Okay.
They had a partnership ne Vets University. They were teaching izinto ze technology. So it was entertainment technology. Ndenza pha ke zonke into ze TV ne radio, from presenting news and everything else, sound engineering, I learned it pha. So ke that's how I started from birth to school in Natal and then to Joburg.
Okay, so this explains a lot of things then on my part. I never got the part that usuke Joburg originally and then why because of what was happening in 1976 emakhaya. But it makes sense now why the street smartness, ubu clever, ubunabo, and the hustling mentality.
Yes.
Clever was a look shit.
Yeah.
I was surprised by clever in terms of,
Yes.
you know, and that explains then maybe why Mike and Ndimbon by unabo ubu Joburg. So Mike never went that side.
Yes.
I would like to assume. Okay, anyway, but ke apha kokukhula kwakho, the izinto ezenzekileyo that I'm thinking maybe had an influence on the person you are, on this hustler, this businessman, this highly motivated person we know today. Do you think ungasixelela mhlambi one or two moments that you think had a very crucial role in Owen being lo Owen simbonayo namhlanje?
Dada, what I'm going to say now, I would like people to write even down. If you are unolali, rural area, you are in the best position than anyone in the world to make it anywhere in the world. Awuna motivation, Dada, oyidingayo, none other than that. I will say this because what made me to think is poverty, nothing else. I grew up as a very poor person. I used to borrow clothes to go to school. I've never got new clothes. My brother used to share me because he was working in the mines. You'll know in Newcastle we've got a mine called DNC, which is Durban Navigation Colliery. Ilapho ke as an activist, ubhuti ka Oliver Tambo wasebenza pha a mine at Denhouse. So there was nothing else except ukuthi xa usebenza uzoba yititshala or uzosebenza emine. So that was the only way where people will make money. So xa ndikhumbula apho Dini ndabona uba I cannot live like this. I wanted to change my mom's life because we never saw our dad. I don't know my father, even on a photograph. So that's how serious it is. So it was only my mom and she was struggling. Then I said, the only thing that I want to do, I want to make sure that my mom, when she sees me at the age of 24, I will be able to make a contribution in terms of assisting her. So it's poverty that was always driving me to go. And also, that is hustling side. The business side, in Natal, there was nothing else to do. We were really in rural areas where you wouldn't watch a movie. All you could do was to go to school. And then I developed as an activist as well in 1986 when I was doing Standard 6. And then this history teacher started feeling me politics. And that's when I started to learn about Mandela and all that. And that's where the other interest developed. So also what I learned there as well was a feeling of love of radio. Because in Natal, you could only listen to one radio station. And that radio station was UKhozi FM. It was Radio Zulu there. Of which I miss. I miss to call it Radio Zulu. I know other people, they want to say, hey, tribe, we are Bantu, we are Zulus, we are Xhosas, we are Ngunis. Actually, I want to start a radio station called Radio Nguni, and that will combine all the Ngunis. So,
sifake namandebele,
sifake namaswazi, sifake nakamzilikazi,
across the border.
Across the borders, those are Ngunis. So the feeling of love of radio, there was this guy called Kansas City on radio that was dynamic. That DJ was crazy. You would stop studying. In an actual fact, I didn't care whether I was writing a test or what. If the test is going to collide with Kansas City, I'll miss school because he was such an unbelievable individual. And he developed an interest inside me to become a radio DJ. So when Metro FM started in 1986, I was doing Standard 6. And I started now having an interest because I used to read a lot to say there's a radio station that will start in Joburg. And Koos Radebe, one of the guys that was doing a commentary, so is another guy that influenced me because of you asking about influence. Yeah. Kansas City was a DJ on air, vibey and all that. And then Koos Radebe, who started Metro FM in 1986, was a commentator. Okay. So those two people have got same influence in me because of I've got all the dynamics of Kansas City, but I've got a talent Koos Radebe when it comes to commentary. So all my life was influenced by the environment, not in the townships, not in urban areas, in rural areas. Nolali, Vuka. You've got an opportunity, be happy to be there.
Ndiyamkhumbula Kansas City from uNgomgqibelo kaMokibelo. A very dynamic, upbeat, smart dress. Ndiyazibona ndiyayibona influence yakhe apha ku I think Eskel, Kat, sisuka ku Kansas City. A very dynamic individual. Unfortunately for mna, umuntu okhulele ndiphanze ndathi eMpuma Koloni, there's an issue with that now. Ndithi eMpuma Kapa okwangoku. Yes. We only got to see Kansas City through TV. So sasingamve radio ngenxa yezinto ke zo Radio Zulu.
Correct.
But he was a very powerful media person. I could tell from even a young age and Ndandikuwe.
Correct.
So you got those influences from Koos Radebe, from Kansas City. Yes. You come back to Joburg and Sikbona. Yeah. So say radio station, YFM, if I'm not mistaken, that's where you started. Yeah. And then Sikbona say SABC. Tell us about that journey. How people always say kunzima. Yes. Ukungena SABC. You know abantu holding SABC kwindawo ephezulu kakhulu because it's the only media place there where we've seen a lot of people that have become influenced. Yes. Or influencers or influential ebomini bethu. Yes. How did you get from Newcastle to the broadcasting industry?
Dini, it is important to notice your surroundings. Apo ukoyo, there's money. You might not see it. Somebody said, is another white guy said to me, Owen, when you dream dollars, everywhere you are, you see the dollar sign. There is money everywhere you are. Just notice where you are. Musungena apha endlini uzona interviewer. Ungabonanga ukuthi xa ungena pha, you notice either a car or there was a spoon that you kicked. So if you didn't see that, you must start noticing now. Because wherever you are, there's problems that need solutions. Always be alert. Even at SABC, just find the problem. Don't go there finding the glamour. It's no. Find where the problem. Search for the problem. You'll find it and then give solution. That's my business. I have never dreamt of that. I just go there and sit there and see problems and say I'm going to come back and report solution. It's all I do, even today.
Bra Owen, I like this.
Yeah.
Problem solver. And I didn't include that when we introduce. So wherever you are.
Yes.
Imehlo lakho.
Yes.
Malilaqazi.
Correct.
Lijonge issues and problems.
Yes.
Onokwazi ukuzisolve up.
Correct.
Okay.
Leadership.
Okay.
I will say around you, there's money. Just focus on the problems and give solutions. I always say, and I'm going to say something very controversial. Once you get matric, you will never be rich. Because you will chase that certificate to give you money. And it will never make you rich. But it will make you to survive in terms of making sure that you can have food on the table, you can take your kids to school, you can pay your bills, but you'll never be rich.
And we don't want to survive. I'll relate two things that you just said. And it's from experience now when I worked for you. And it's just what you're saying. That certificate will give you a power just to survive.
Yes.
There's a friend of mine who's doing very well in business.
Yes.
He called me way back. Dlamini unjani? Hayi Kasela ndiyaphila. No. I said, hayi Kasela ndiyaphila.
Yes.
Just survive. He said, no, Dlamini. No.
Survive.
Start living. And I was just relating this to someone during the week. Lendo ithetha. Lendo Kasela wayithetha.
Yes.
Please just elaborate on that because I think it's very important. I was talking to someone yesterday, enzabana interview yakhe uMasilo Mutana.
Yes.
About the issues of education and how it doesn't really add that much value.
Yeah.
The fact that we have abantu abane certificate abamez robots
yes.
Gacheni
Yes. It says a lot.
Athi dine BSc kodwa ume in the same spot with umntu ongenanto.
Yeah, onganana first year. So Tata, and I like music because music has got all the messages. He healed the world, like Michael Jackson. You must start living and stop existing. These are two different. It's in that line. So don't fight to exist. South Africa is unbelievable with opportunities. Strive to live. You are not living, you're just existing, you're surviving. And you're proud of surviving? No, you cannot. What you're doing now, this channel that you're doing, this is the path of living. So leadership, to be quite honest, my influences are because of I'm so observant. I look at problems and give solutions, and this is the only thing that I do business. I didn't have a business that I said I want to start this business, except I wanted to go to radio. But when I got there, I realized that this is not about talking on the microphone. There's so much that we can do. Then I started a production house, and I'm happy that I was joined by young lads like you.
Who's this lady? Say 2000 Goku. Nonala.
Nonala.
You've given opportunity to so many people.
Correct.
But let's not jump.
Yeah.
Yes, Apa.
Okay.
The question was, how did you get started in broadcasting? Kunzima ungena in that industry siyayazi. To such an extent, bathi abantu abangomama they have to bakhulule.
Exactly.
Abantu abangotata these days now bayakhulula.
Bayakhulula.
How did you get in?
Yeah. Tata, it's a sad question that you're asking me. Because on radio, nakho that drop out ngiyakhumbula benise Newcastle College ndenze entertainment technology. I didn't have money to fill up to complete because xa ndithatha ndiyongena evarsity college, I was using my own money. I completed matric 1990. 1991 I was working with factory upper Newland West Soweto town. Ndenza hills zeyicathula. So I did that for 2 years, 91, 92. And then on 93 kwakhona ke ndiyozama uba ndiqhubeke nento zesikolo. So ke endleleni ndaphelelwa ngamasenti. Then I was 2 years now at Nexus College, missa the 3rd year. Then I had to now remember what was my passion. My passion was radio and television. So, but what people don't know, that I sing very well. And then I went now to say, okay, I've learned at school, even though I don't have a certificate. And I will tell you how AKA comes in. Comes in exactly the way I started. That's how he knocked me, with King and Forbes. Because I have learned, but I don't have certificate. Then I approached Soul Brothers. I went, they were corner Moy and Pritchard's in town.
Okay.
And then I went there, I was looking for them, hustling. And then I found them. I said, hey guys, I can work for you as a sound engineer. And I didn't have experience, but I had learned at school. Then I said, hey, do you know? I said, no. I just want to volunteer. I just want to be experienced and get practicals. And then, they took me in, they showed me. And then within 2 weeks, I was ready to start working on my own. So this guy, fortunately, the sound engineer, was very lazy, pa.
Okay.
And then I was learning. Then I'll call him. Nature is pa. It's not too far from me. But pa. So, and then I'll call him as a kitchen. So I got a lot of experience in a short space of time. Then 1994, there was Shell Road to Fame. I went to do Ishel Road to Fame, an opportunity in music. One of the judges was Daniel Chanda, Westsplash, the late Daniel Chanda. So Daniel Chanda said, you're not even going to finish. I'm recording in the studio and I want you to come and record. When I got there, I found Uludwe, the then boyfriend got Brenda Fast.
Okay.
Yes, it's a song. Sabang is backing book. I saw him on Facebook, and we chatted like during COVID.
Okay.
I think it was last year. He said he's coming to Joburg. So we met after a long time. This was a very talented, hugely talented boy, and that was best dressed, and is one of the people that inspired me to dress very well.
Okay.
Because of he was going out with Brenda Fassie. So secret. Then we went and started singing. But then I said to Dan, no, Dan, my passion really, in as much as I know how to sing, I want to be a sound engineer.
Okay.
But then is sound engineering, bang tata good Dan as a sound engineer. But ngisasebenza kunjalo, umam wam was not comfortable with the touring of things.
Okay.
So what Owen uzawuthora manje umama remember useNatal. So now you're in Joburg, you're far away from me. So ufuna ukuhamba eBotswana uhamba happy. So don't stop that thing. I didn't want to worry my mom. She was the only thing I had. Remember, I never had a dad. So I had to listen to her. Then I pulled out of music.
And this meant you were going to be out of the country for the longest time, because I heard Dan Chanda was actually very popular in Botswana,
Correct.
Zambia.
Correct.
More than he was here.
Very big outside the country, Splash. Very big outside the Splash. And remember, Splash, you've got Dalem Kids, you've got Patricia Majalisa, you've got Dan Chanda, you've got Machiko. So they go there as about four or five groups, all driven by Daniel Chanda. Very talented boy. Then I had to pull out of music. And then Ndabona again go. The part that I said, read. When I read Bona magazine, I found out that there was a radio station in Soweto called Soweto Commumity Radio starting. Okay. They were still volunteering. And then again, Daspuna, I called the journalist in there, and then one director, and then I went there. Ngayo volunteer lapo. That's how my radio career started. So, trying to figure there was nothing, but I'll figure out. We still need 500,000 signatures in Soweto so that we can get a right to get a license. So then we started a door-to-door campaign. That's when I met Ubaba Kakanyi or umenzi Mchunu. He was owning taxis. I think that guy had about 36 taxis in Soweto. So he was the one that was giving us food, giving us cars as volunteers. So my career started like that. Then I was assigned to do sport in that radio station. So we started, that was 1995 when we went on air for the first time in Soweto.
So you went through the right channels, community radio to commercial to public, and then you went independent. Briefly, how did you get to Y and then move to SABC?
When YFM started, it was after Soweto Commumity Radio. So there were two stations in Soweto. One was Soweto Commumity Radio, dominated by Kabzela. And then one was Voice of Soweto, dominated by Penil Riane. So we're competitors. Now, when YFM started, it was easy for them. They just took few from Soweto Commumity Radio, from Voice of Soweto, then they started YFM. YFM was made by only that, and then they had Fresh, and then they had Semiti, and then Fat Joe. Those are the guys that didn't come from our level. But the best DJs came from us.
Kabzela no Penny.
Kabzela no Penny. They still, even now, people know who they are.
Kabzela passed away a long time ago, but he's still in the mind of Abantu because of the impact he had.
Yes.
You moved from there. When I don't know why.
Why I was doing sport. I was doing sport in Fresh's show. It was Fresh, and I'll reveal the secret now. Again, that is current. Fresh was still after Utabiso Matladi. Also kunkosikazi wakhe manje. So Utabiso Matladi was doing a general news. We show Fresh. And then I was doing sport with Sugar Fresh. Yeah, so Fresh couldn't hold himself. Magabon Utabiso Matladi. And then boss yethu kwakumfazi kaVuyo uSavita Mbuli. Very, very lovely, humbled lady that gave us an opportunity to express ourselves. So bangenza leo show. From there, then Umam Wami also had an influence also there to say, man, I must say, when I go to Y, many of the Y people, they thought they know because they were speaking, most of them, big English and all that. And talent is not about big English. We brought something with Kabzela because of when I went to Y, in an actual fact, I was called by Kabzela. Kabzela was headhunted by YFM. Kabzela, azaye Y uya kanjani. Kabzela left Soweto Commumity Radio for SABC. I was a producer. Technical producer Metro. Yeah, station manager say Metro wagu Romeo. Romeo Kumalo then. So in Metro FM nayo, same problem, had stars that were big in their heads, not necessarily talent. And they rejected to Kabzela to go on air. And then this young man, Leo Mane, YA boss a YFM, one niggas who Kabzela opportunity. So when Kabzela then was there, he called me and said, no, I've got a guy that can do sport in a different way. Because we had our own style. When I got to Y, everybody was worried about English. When Fresh can tell you, when I was doing sport in his show, I would say mangikhuluma ngesoccer ngibize ngesizulu ngithi sezingena ezebhola manje sikamgcoba nyawo, but I will read what the script is in English, but all my intro will be in Zulu. So me and Kabzela had that thing of mixing English and Zulu and make it fluently in such a way that everyone that is listening turned. And that's why when I left Y, Wakala Usavita, what no, how much are they giving you SABC? I said they'll give me a car allowance and house. EY didn't have that, but she wanted to offer me that. I remember even the late Vuyombuli stopped me and said, but why did you leave Y? I said, no, but unfortunately, Baba, I had to grow. So that's what I had brought a Y. But my mom said, no, it's time to grow. And my mom was comfortable with me getting a permanent job. So SABC was giving me a permanent job. And that's how I left now EY, leaving Kabzela there, joining SABC.
But that whole move, why and what that station did for youth culture, for your quiet or for your local hip hop, it was so powerful. So you were part of that powerful movement. There was even a magazine, Y Mag. I was a young man there in the Eastern Cape at Konce who was obsessed with that magazine. We couldn't even listen to why, but we were watching from e-magazine. So you're part of that powerful movement. How was that environment?
Well, to be quite honest, I'll take you just a big bet, a big bet back. Because leadership, why I want to take you a bit back is because I want you to get where Kwaito is coming from.
Okay.
Kwaito started at Soweto Community Radio, not necessarily YFM. What was happening, 1995, every group, DJ Sbu, sorry to tell you, you are a young man. You're not in I'm talking trumpets. Thama Fokate, Mduma Silela. We gave birth to all those guys. They were performing for Soweto Commumity Radio for free. Arthur was performing for us for free. Chiscop, about General. They were performing for because they had just got an opportunity of recording this music in the backyard studios. But Metro didn't want them because Metro was so urban. And there was big English there about Treasure Shabalala, Wilson being Kosi, all those type of guys. So these guys couldn't crack it there. Now Tina Nati, because of we were influenced by Metro FM. Many DJs aspired to go to Metro. It was a big thing. So we ignored what we had. Manje, laba fana laba abekwaito. They used to bring the CDs. Abo Oscar, Oskido. I don't know, ngicela ningidlalela asithathe lento sibekele sidlala uLuther Van Ross, So abo Lakeside sidlala international music. But now the major record labels, abo Universal and stuff, they didn't want to supply us with their music because of we're nobodies. They wanted to take it to Metro and abo Khozi and stuff. Sigcine singana content to play. So we were forced now to say, look at minute, man. We've got all these CDs piling up here not being played. I guess we started playing Brothers of Peace, Nabo Esquido. We popularized Kwaito music to be what it is today. We ended up doing our festivals at Thokoza Park in Soweto. All these artists were not charging us a cent. They were performing for free. And that's how Kwaito was born. I'm talking big Kwaito X, about Trumpis, about Oskir, all those guys. We gave them interviews. We played even insulting lyrics because of they were talking about our lives in Soweto. I remember Brothers of Peace had a big controversial song, but we played it on air and people complained and it made a lot of talk, but it was a good way of marketing Brothers of Peace. And that's how it grows. So
when was this, 93, 94?
That was 95. All music was born 95. Remember, even Pumshaka was still performing in the clubs. They hadn't recorded. But because of us, Christos took them and recorded them. That's how Pumshaka was formed. Because of now, there was a platform for them to play. As a result, that influenced me to be an activist because I could see how important it is to give people an opportunity to express themselves. Because of Ipumshaka, without an airplay, they wouldn't be where they are. And the first airplay they got, it was from us. And then we influenced YFM. So when YFM started, this music was playing and it took over on a bigger scale because of it was a regional station. It is the first regional station to have million listeners. YFM. Wow. First, it was beating in 94.7. It was beating our national stations. And then what Y introduced then over and above that was hip hop. And that's how Hip Hop Magazine were born, Abo Y Magazine, and the hip hop that house was born. But what made Y big? Now coming to your question, how was it like to be in that environment? It was amazing. YFM DJs were young, vibrant, unbelievable, and but most of all, EY went to people. We used to go and broadcast in people's houses. We used to have our concerts festival. So we were always with the people. And that's what made Y what it is today. And that is what is killing most of the radio stations today. Ama DJs awasaziwa, ahlala behind the scenes, but detached from people. So, and that thing, we learn it from one individual and one individual only. From Brenda Fassie. Brenda Fassie will go to Soweto, angazi umuntu akhipha imali athi wozani nonke asenze i-braai up. So Go to the people. Be seen as part of the people. People would like to be part of you.
As njebuthetha zininzi izinto that are coming to mind. I think ibalekile lento yoba in touch with the people. I remember, I think 2001, it was my second time visiting Joburg. Prior to that, I had come here in 1985. That's mhlobo wenene, Soccerzone Bongani. I think UKhozi was doing that show. Ubrenda had come in. Ubrenda was such a another kind
Dynamic.
Mamela, I'll say this because okay, I'll say it. Wangena SABC ephethe ingudu yakhe.
Yeah.
Ungena njani nale ngudu uyirepishele nge-newspaper. Somehow the securities didn't pick it up. But that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is when she got there.
Yeah.
She didn't anditsho kukho elicala silinda kuli producers hlala kulo Bongani.
Yes, it's called Green Room.
Green Room.
Yeah.
And then there's the studio.
Yeah.
She didn't just go into the studio ayohlala phano DJ. Wabona bakho abantu kwelicala. She came and she sat with abantu encokola nathi as engager.
Yes.
So she was in touch with abantu.
She was in touch with Abantu, and that is the key. What remember, who's your target market? Abantu. Where's your support coming from? Abantu. So if you don't go to them, why must they come to you? Humble yourself. Be at the level. Abelung bako kaloku. Abelung bako. So I learned that from Brenda Fassie, and people don't understand. Minamat Magati. The songs that Brenda Fassie used to sing, I didn't understand them. But Brenda Fassie will sell 500,000 copies when Luther Vandross cannot do that in one country. Because remember, we're not international, Tina. We're selling only in South Africa. But Brenda Fassie was breaking records. She was the biggest selling artist more than any, because she was in touch with Abantu. And second, they tried that was Lebo Matosa as well. DJ Spoo is doing well in that as well. Once you live with Abantu, but Kabzela excelled in that. That is why when Kabzela died, the funeral was crazy. We couldn't even drive because of he was doing exactly that. He would go to the townships, go to the taxis. By the way, he was a taxi driver, so it was easy for him to get things. So yeah, that's what it is.
Very interesting. A little bit of history here and there. Urban culture history as South Africa, which I don't think is well documented, by the way.
No.
Maybe this is something we can work on.
Correct.
If you're enjoying the interview, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this interview and comment. We are with Owen Ndlovu, UKhozi, a businessman, street smart, hustler, yalapa Orlando East. I thought usuka ngapha ezilalini. Okay, Owen. So you transition now from a YFM to SABC doing sports, and that's when I found out about you. Kawukulo position. Yes, Soccerzone, doing a commentary na kuKhozi. A friend of mine benthetana izolo uthi there were some issues you faced uKhozi, into the jealousy abantu.
Yes.
Let's just touch on that and what kept you going when such izinto bezisenzeka ebomini, because I think it's very important. Into le. Ndiyafuna
Tata Dini Lohlang. You are a young man that you still have 75 years of your life to live. So Mandela died at the age of 95. So that is how I gauge you. Now, Tata, if you were expecting to be loved, like they say, you must sell ice cream. I've never come anywhere to be loved. I've never come anywhere to be loved because of, if you read the Bible, Jesus Christ was the most hated, but he came for a good reason. So don't ever be affected with Abanban Zonda, Abanban Tuk. That's what they'll do. They do it to anyone. So why are you affected by something that happens to everyone? It's like trying to break a mountain, trying to go to Eastern Cape or Western Cape. You will never break a mountain, you go around it. It's there. It's there. The problem is how you deal with it. It's like, what you say, they'll always do. It's normal. If people see the car that you drive, these facilities that you have, but it cannot stop you from moving. If you drive to Cape Town, Dinilo Hlanga, you will meet a bus there that will serve towards you. You serve back, you go. You're not going to stop and say, send no, you go on. You will be disturbed by those things. But they just by the way. So that is why when UKhozi FM people realized how powerful I was, then the jealousy started. And I expected it because of everywhere I go, I know I'm going to add value. Don't go to a place uthi yokhipha udinelo hlanga emsebenzini. Ndiyanicela. Don't go and look for job uthi yokhipha umuntu. Go there because of you're going to add value that will make them to give you a position. So once you've got that, then there's nothing that's going to take you no matter what they say. They will never do what you do. They'll try and kill you. Don't eat their food because of they'll kill you. Be careful of where you sit, but continue doing the best. I'm not scared to say, to be quite honest, there was jealousy. My boss was competing with me because of the problem with SABC is that our bosses do exactly the same type of job. My boss is a commentator. I'm also a commentator. So if I'm doing well and I'm getting audiences, and then there'll be a clash there. And this is the person that is supposed to be giving you opportunities, so he'll cut them down. You know, as freelancers, it's easy. They can just chop your shifts and you can't complain anyway. But to be quite honest, it was just one individual. The rest of the people were happy with what I was doing. And that's why I was able to stay UKhozi. But eventually, they ended up terminating my contract. People thought I left UKhozi FM. For the first time, I'm telling you, breaking story. I never left UKhozi FM voluntarily. My contract was terminated mysteriously by my boss, who was competing with me at the time. So, but I didn't contest it because of when the other door closes, the other one opens. So I had to move on and say I still have my production, which is my main income, source of income, and then also I still have my staff, my talent, and then I said, let me focus on that. But to be quite honest, it's good that I left UKhozi FM at my peak, and nobody on UKhozi FM is doing better commentary than me even now.
Let's talk about Lendo Yemali, because this is another thing Umhle brought up. Thank you very much, Kument, for giving me a scoop. Buka Owen. And I like what he said, because it links to Lendo Chetayuba.
Yes.
You had your production company running on the side.
Yes.
So
No.
And I think it speaks to what Ukumede told me. Ukumede, all the tendency, yoga submit claim
invoice.
I didn't know that at the end of the year.
Yeah, I didn't need that.
Boss. What was that all about?
No, you know, to be quite honest, with me, I didn't need that money then, because I had my source of income every month. You understand, with my company. So this was extra money that I wanted to keep for rainy days. So these people were pushing me that every month I must invoice them. I said, but if it's before the financial year end, why do you have a problem? Develop drugs. And I can tell you, leadership, it saved me exactly what I was thinking. My brother ended up being involved in this thing because of my brother had a lot of money that he didn't know what to do with it. So for me, what I was earning from my company, which is very important what I'm saying to you right now, Tini, because don't have extra cash that you don't know what to do with it. Make sure you lock it up. Rather, it gets there, invest it, a bank bangaknig, uzoyithola once a year. Because of having this money that is going on, uzawuthenga omakosha ngala mali, uzawuthenga utshwala, uzawuthenga drugs. Because of you'll end up wanting to show off who you are. The world is not about showing off who you are. The world is about yourself and your family. Because of, remember, you still have to grow your family. You still have to build your future. And also that will need money. So only have the money that if you need a BMW, drive it. It was the first car I wanted to buy was a BMW because of it, I call it a black man's wish. So every man wants to drive, a black man wants to drive a BMW. But once you get a BMW, then you must be content. You need the best girlfriend in town. Okay, fine, go and get one, don't get 10. If you want a beautiful girl, fine, go get it. Go to Bonang and take Bonang, you know Bonang what she wants. Take Bonang to Germany and have lunch there, and then you know you get Bonang. You must be in a certain class together, you know. But get one, don't have 10. So for me, my fight with SABC, they wanted me to claim and have money every month. To do what with it? I was a young man. It was a lot of money coming. And I said, no, I'll take this money when I need it. And it came. Because of now, I wanted to build a house. And I managed to build one house. And then I wanted to build another. So I needed that money. Then it was safe for me. It was but I used to upset a lot of people by not claiming. And people, and they didn't understand why this guy is so ignorant when it comes to money. No, it was the best way of me of saving it, really.
And you've managed to acquire properties with Ezomali Zinjalo because you had understood the importance of money and what it could do to improve your life. Where did you get your money lessons from?
To be quite honest, I don't want to lie. It's just a matter of poverty. I'll go back there. Because I used to survive with nothing in the rural areas. If my mom had 10 rand then, it was enough for the day, 2 or 3. So now, why now when I have 50,000 rand at the end of the month, and then now I can't live with that money. So I said, no, I don't need that money. I just need to survive. I need a car, I need a beautiful girl, and I'm happy to go forward. So I said to myself, I will just take money when I've got a reason for it. And I didn't know anything about properties, you know. But when you meet different people, fortunately, I had a studio environment whereby you'll have people come and record in your studio. So these are people that are already making it live. You record the small ones, the old adults and everybody. So we'll engage and talk. They'll say, no, I own a house. Where? No, in such and such and suburb. Why in a suburb, not in the township? Then they'll say the value. So you learn, oh, I need my money now. I want to do that. So I learned everything really in the street. I don't really have anything formal.
I remember that environment, your studio, because when I came to Joburg, Owen is the first person that gave me an opportunity, through a friend of mine, Paul. And this is something Obuko I told earlier about, certificate.
Yes.
And I remember this vividly. When I came to your studio, when Paul hooked me up with you, I came there. Disanda kwenza certificate sound engineering as a certificate. I remember this kakuhle ugatsheni wathi mhlekazi thatha lento uyibeke eceleni, here's a sound mixer, here's a computer, show me what you can do. And that has stuck with me.
Yes,
because now izinto ezenzekayo now are being revealed. I sound like umuntu wasenkonzweni are being revealed because nabo abantu bane certificate, but they can't do anything. And the most important thing is the skill and the tools you have within you to do what needs to be done. Not something that confirms that no lo muntu uyifundile lento, nabo abantu befundile bengenando yokwenza lento bayifundile.
Yes to be quite honest, that is very important. Talking about studio, it was you, and then it was now Keenan Forbes that also dropped out. Remember when I talked about how I got a job with Splash, I couldn't finish the 3rd year. Same as AKA. AKA was at a school of sound engineering. Also stops me and say, hey, I hear you've got a studio here. And then I took this young colored boy to come, and I said, show me what you have. I realized that, there's a lot of theory, no practice. So fortunately, I have a very strong backup in my younger brother, Mike. Together we own Michael Owen. Is Michael, I'm Owen. So that's how Michael Owen came in. So Mike, I said, Mike, take this young man. He's got passion and he has learned, teach him. So we taught him everything he knows. That is why people don't understand why AKA is using auto-tune. Because I told him, I said, AKA, you cannot sing. I told him straight, because he couldn't sing better than me.
Straight talk, the frankness I was talking about.
Exactly. I will tell you something that is painful, but I'll say, no, AKA, you can't sing. But you are good with the machines.
Constructive criticism.
Constructive criticism. I said, this is what you're going to do. AKA and Dean is sitting here interviewing me, where one of my best sound engineers. In an actual fact, I took it out from those guys that used to go to their girlfriends and leave me working. Also, I used to leave you guys because I knew that now you are solid. I know that when I've got Dini there, the job will be done. AKA when I'm there, he will do everything. So to be quite honest, I'm happy with the journey that I've traveled and the opportunities that I gave people to cross because I didn't do you any favor. It's like a car. I tell people that a car, a manual car, not an automatic, it can drive on its own. A car, you start it, put the first gear, clutch balance. Once it moves, you can get out of the car. It's not going to stop. All you're doing, you accelerate it to go further. That's what I did with you. That's what I did with AKA. If you've got passion, you already have a degree. But if you're going to mess it up, it's up to you. Because there's two things that you're living for. The one that God gave you and the certificate. Let me tell you how I differentiate the two.
Okay.
The God-given talent is the only thing that you must do before you die. You must do what God gave you when you're born. You had your hands closed, it had talent. Just find it. Go to school, get that degree, pack it. That is why I said, now that you're with me, pack that certificate. That is your backup in case nothing happens. It's not your number one tool. Look at you now. You are here because of you realize this is your talent that you pushed and then you backed it up with the certificate. But nobody tells you when to go to work because it's here. You don't have a boss. You came and interviewed me. You planned this interview, bought the equipment. Who said you must buy that equipment? No amount of work will tell you to buy things except it's coming from the heart. It's the passion.
Ish, I want to say something, but let me not say it. I'll tell you off air because someone that I might be talking about might find this. But there's what is happening with SABC, a lot of retrenchments, and abantu are stuck. Abazi bamabathi.
Yes.
Abantu abafundileyo apha.
Yeah.
Uyaphela umsebenzi abayazi ukuba mabathini. It's such a sad situation.
Reality. That's what I'm talking about. Leadership. Hear me well, Dini. I am not saying people must not go to school. Go to school. Obtain that degree. As a backup. Forget it there. Start your own thing. Because of, like you say now, people that prioritized a certificate, they are frustrated now at SABC. They said, no, the job is ending now. How are you going to start? Because you never had a plan B. In an actual radio, you took your plan B, you make it a plan A, now you don't have a plan B anymore. No. Your plan A is to utilize your talent. That's your end. The richest people in the world, they don't have certificates. Lionel Messi, Jay-Z, what degree does he have? Nothing. They pursue their talent that was given to God. And they are rich. Like I said, show me one person that is rich with a degree. Unless it's taking money for corruption, it's kickbacks. And they're all in jail now. They're all being persecuted. SIU is behind them, the orcs, because if they're trying to match the talent, you will never match Casper Nyovest. Casper didn't steal that Bentley. No amount of certificate will make you drive a Bentley. No matter what degree you have, you will never drive a Bentley. You will have a car, but not a Bentley. So don't compete with Casper Nyovest with a certificate. Even the doctors cannot drive a Bentley. No doctor will earn a salary that will make him drive a Bentley. But he's going to drive a flashy car, yes. But not in entertainment because of you are using talent. Lionel Messi, Bugatti, with Cristiano Ronaldo. Those are the guys. I mean, 1995 when I met Dr. Khumalo, I was shocked. Just to go back a bit, I was interviewing now in Soweto Commumity Radio.
Okay.
Dr. Khumalo and Tebogo Moloi because of they were friends but playing for opposite teams. So my advantage is that my community radio station was in Soweto, where stars are born.
Yeah.
So we were like a national station. So for me, interviewing Dr. Khumalo and Tebogo, it was like a community. These guys are from Dube, Mepul.
Yeah.
Yes. So when he pulled over,
Dr.
Khumalo, he pulled over in a BMW. It was white. That BMW was an M3 with no plates. I was seeing that car for the first time from that guy. So this was the guy that I was interviewing for the first time, having commentated about him on radio, but I never met him. I met him then. Now, I said, wow, if talent can do this for you. I mean, really, the focus was his car more than anything, more than even an interview. So I'm just trying to say, don't be obsessed by your certificate. Park it there for the rainy days. Look at what God has for you. You'll be successful.
The story of Dr. Khumalo is a perfect segue to the next chapter of your life as a voiceover artist ka Soccerzone. Iconic role that you did very well. Abantu still remember you for that. And apparently the numbers you brought to that show have never been matched ever since you left.
The show is collapsed. There's no show. The Soccerzone has been shifted from 8:30 to 9 o'clock to 10. I don't know who watches it now.
How was that experience?
To be quite honest, Dini Lohlanga, I will tell you, my brother, there's this thing that I was taught by one of the teachers that influenced my political career. Because of, I'll mention them.
And I see you heavy on politics on Twitter, but that's another story for,
for another day.
Yeah.
Mgome Zulu. And then I had Tushin Kwabinde. And then I had Mahmoudi. And then I had Uveli Valentine. So these are the guys that were teaching me that had a lot of influence with me to change my career. So one of the teachers told me that, Owen, when I talked about going to radio, he said, don't worry about Metro. Go to UKhozi FM because of you'll do well there. Because of that will make you express yourself. I can tell you now, there's no English DJ. I don't care who you are, which radio station you work for, that can beat me with my own language. Remember when I went to Soccerzone, you had a heavyweight there. It was Robert Marawa. You know Robert Marawa and Carol Manana. These are big English speakers, eh? So how do I come with an English and hoping to beat them? Then I said, no, let me flip this thing around. Let me use my own language. And then I went to propose. Fortunately, there was this pressure to say, we must now balance. Because I wanted us to balance with the vernacular and stuff like that. Then I told the producers, I said, hey, I can do this thing in Zulu. I said, what? Can you do Soccerzone in Zulu? I said, yes, it can be done. But why? Not you guys are focusing in urban areas. I said, what are the chances, not only of me, a poor man from rural areas, Unolali, how will I match Robert in English that is white? How will I match Carol in English that is white? I said, no way, let me be different when I get there. And then nakhona ukuba observant, ukuthi always find a space and get in there. So, when the producers gave me an opportunity, I will tell you something that people won't believe. When I went to YFM for auditions, after Kavzela had called me, I arrived there, it was a Monday, guys. Sometimes, what I would like to say, pray and know your ancestors. I'm very spiritual and I'm very also traditional. So I went there, it was a Monday. I was supposed to do auditions. And then they just recorded. They said, okay, let's record you. They record me. And then somebody said, yeah, in fact, this recording of yours, is it you? That is by Tata by Saksavit. The very same day I did audition is the very same day I went on air.
Wow.
The very same day I went on. They just listened to tapes that you are reading at 4 o'clock. I said, what? Today? And I read. That's how I got to Y. Soccerzone, the same. I'm recording this clip and I'm giving to the producers. They said, oh, and tonight you are going on air. And when I got on air, to the applaud of the people, Robert Marawa used to be stopped at the garages because it's on the screen. But they will say to him, where is this guy that is saying Ubani?
Bani Cash.
Yes. So Ubani Kehla came because of Shoes scored a goal. And Shoes had one of the dynamic soccer players I've ever seen. I think Shoes is in the top 5 in the world.
Brilliant player. I recently saw a documentary like Super Sport. Brilliant.
brilliant
football mind.
I think he was the cleverest player I have ever seen. When I talk the world,
A
I'm not
clean
a
lifestyle too, ne? I think that's what prolonged ne career.
career. Lifestyle, very disciplined, one girlfriend at the time, focus on his career, very isolated. I'm not saying don't have friends, but Shoes didn't have friends. Not even a soccer player can claim that I was a friend to Shoes. No. Shoes was isolated even in his club. Fortunately, Shoes bekahlale Dube. So I know him very well from Dube because of my cousin was going out with a girlfriend that was very beautiful, and Shoes wanted that girlfriend, and we used to chase him away. We used to promise him it's back today, so shy when Shoes. So he remembers me from there. He was very isolated, but one of the best. So when he left Kaizer Chiefs, joined Amazulu, he was very old, but because of his conduct, he was still very fit, like non-vet and very sharp. So he scored a goal there. Then I said, and he did this. I scored at my age. I could interpret that while he was doing it on TV. Then I said, Uti Ubani Ketla. Oh, and that's how Ubani Ketla now got stuck with me. But I think I can tell you what I am, which you didn't ask. In broadcasting, you've got an announcer.
Okay.
You've got a broadcaster.
Okay.
You've got entertainer.
Okay.
Those are three different people. Radio is dominated by broadcasters now. No entertainers. I'm an entertainer. That is what you must know. It's not about talking in the microphone. There's no DJ now today that is an entertainer. Not even one. I'm sorry if I'm offending you.
I'm thinking about it, guys, as Metro FM. I'm not going to name their names.
Not even one is an entertainer right now.
They are not entertaining at all.
I don't, like you said, I don't want to mention names. The last entertainer the country saw was Kabzela. You could switch off music and listen to Kabzela talking the whole day, and you'll still listen to radio.
Man, Patko is an entertainer.
No, sorry to Patko. Patko, my fan. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Patko. Patko, unfortunately, all these people are friends of mine. Patko, we were very close. Patko is the only entertainer remaining right now. And okay, Chata is getting there on UKhozi FM, but on English stations, there's no entertainers. You had Tish Matez, that was the last one. Tichafa Matambena.
Is radio dying? Is it dead? Is it dying?
There'll be no radio in the next 5 years. Radio will be dead. Mark my words, in 5 years, I'll be 55.
Can it be revived, Kachen?
Leadership, to be quite honest, with the competition of technology, I doubt. Unless we go full schooling, starting an academy to train. Radio DJs are not trained.
What are you waiting for? I mean, I think this is a talk we've had since 2009.
Leadership, to be quite honest, when you grow up, which we're going to talk about now, I'm in the rights business, opportunities prevail themselves and you focus on that. But to be quite honest, leadership, what killed radio? Number one is this thing of compilers, that you'll go on air with the music compiled for you. That song might not make anything to you, but you have to play it because of somebody's compiled it. And the person that has compiled that song will never even back announce it. How do you back announce something that you don't feel? That's number one. Number two, lack of training. Because of training will force you to have something called Snoop sessions. You know these radio DJs that are talking loud on radio now, they can't even listen to themselves. We were forced on communist radio station to say, okay, Owen, you've been talking for 3 hours. Now come here. They just pick up a snippet and say, Owen, listen to yourself. It's called Snoop Nations. Yeah. And say, do you love what you hear now? If you don't like it, work on it. These DJs, they earn salaries and without even listening themselves, but they're expecting me to listen to them.
Hey, it's so bad the situation. Nalendo social media influencers that have become more DJ, ne celebrity, abantu abase TV, naba actayo. that have become.
You said it mouthful. You said it mouthful. They taking now because of you've got 1 million followers on Twitter. Therefore, that translates to following on radio. It's not true. It's not going to happen.
It's so depressing. I was listening to a show, and this which on station is. Yeah. Kitchen.
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, it's not entertaining. It's not engaging.
Leadership. It's sad because, and it's a trend now. I think it's one of the requirements now to say if you don't have followers, then you can't work on radio, and that's a problem because. In radio, you are an entertainer. People will just tune in. People will just buy for you. People will be there for you. But if you're hoping Uguti is a therefore, it's given. No, it doesn't work like that. Because of even if you open a business, it doesn't mean because of you've got 1 million followers, then therefore we'll buy 1 million CDs. Even AKA was frustrated in the other day. He was saying, I can't believe I've got more than 2 million followers, but I can't reach a gold disc, which is about 25,000 or so. So it doesn't necessarily translate to rands and cents. So don't be fooled.